Hey Taurus, welcome to my channel. This is Venus Baby Tarot, and today I'm just going to give you a short little message from Spirit. So before we get started, I have opened up quite a few booking slots for June. So I'm not really sure what my schedule is going to be like for July and whether or not I'm going to be opening up spots. So if you would like to book a reading with me, this is the time to do it. Also, if you like my content, I do hope that you like and subscribe. So let's go ahead and see what Spirit has in store for you. Okay, you have the, I think it's called Ansus. I don't know the runes that well, but I do, try. So, okay. And then let's get some of these for Taurus. Oh, well, that's more than I had bargained for. So we got acceptance, eccentric. That is so interesting because of another reading that I had done for Taurus. I'm trying to batch record right now. I was talking about self-acceptance. But so anyway, you got acceptance under the, messages. This is like messages from Spirit. Like, there's a fortune cookie right there. So paying attention to messages even. Okay, and then you have Directions Journey under this one. Awaz, I think that's how you say it. Anyway, you guys, I keep meaning to learn more about the runes, but just time. Okay. So you have the directions and the journey here with the ship. So this can definitely be an ending, okay? But you are going towards growth to stability, like this tree here, like new beginnings, expansion in your life, okay? And then you have success, pride. And then you also have this inheritance male energy right here. We're going to kind of see how that one fits in. I'm not entirely sure about that one yet. It may have just come out because these other ones were meant to come out, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, for some of you, there could be an actual inheritance, but it can also be about like qualities that you have inherited from a masculine figure in your life, okay? So let's go ahead and get your cards out. We're just going to keep this really short today with the past, present, future. I may decide to pull some cards with, like what you should focus on and that kind of thing, but we'll see. All right, you have the Six of Wands. You have the Monarch, which is the Emperor in this deck, the Two of Cups, Ten of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune right there in the center, the Empress, the Star, the Sun, and the Five of Wands with whatever this card is poking out, the Page of Cups. There's quite a few cards poking out. I'm going to go ahead. So you have, the Spirit of Swords, which is the King of Swords on the bottom of the deck. I'm very interested in all these cards over here on the bottom of the deck because I feel like they're really telling a story. So, okay. In the recent past, look at that, the Success card. Something has absolutely worked out for you. I feel like it was something that was unexpected, to be really honest with you. And I feel like because you left something up to chance, like something really worked out for you. I feel like you kind of decided to put yourself out there more, or you started to follow your North Star. You decided to drop the burdens, which I feel like could just be the things that were holding you back in your mind, okay? I feel like you decided to persevere, to pursue something is what I'm seeing here. It's really interesting because the way that this person is walking, it looks like they're walking like they feel lighter than air, okay? And that could have been what's happened to you. Like you're starting to feel a lot lighter in your life. I'm looking over here at the butterflies here, like you're starting to feel transformed. Like you're feeling like you're headed in the right direction, like you're on a new journey for yourself. This card can be about endings. And I think it's really interesting too because I feel like this person looking in the mirror, like to me, I feel like it has to do with the perception, like their perception of themselves is changing, and that's an end that this person is experiencing because of this acceptance. For me, I feel a little bit like, it is what it is and it was what it was. And I was talking in another reading about how, let it, if it comes, let it, if it goes, let it, like staying in the flow of the universe, right? Staying unattached. And really dissecting like why we stay so attached to things, why we stay attached to the institution of marriage and it needing to last forever. Why do we stay attached to that? Why do we stay attached to this idea that we're supposed to get out of college and jump into our career and be in the same career for the next 40 years, 50 years and retire? And, like, why do we stay attached to these things? Is there another way? I don't know why this keeps coming out for Taurus, because I really get this like rebellious sort of energy that's been occurring with Taurus. And that's kind of a little bit, because look at this, you even have Aquarius right here. But that's kind of a little bit of what I'm getting from these energies, like with the 6 of Wands and the 10 of Wands. Like, for me, you're feeling lighter than air. Like you're shedding the weight of expectations, okay? And you're walking just feeling light and fancy free. And you are definitely, you're moving to a time in your life where things are going to start to be very successful. I feel a little bit, this Page of Cups right here, this is very much being in that youthful energy. You remember like when you're in high school where you just felt like you were on top of the world and you just felt like, like the future had so much promise and so much to offer, and you just felt free. Do you remember that feeling? Because I remember that feeling. I remember just feeling, because you weren't quite plagued by adult responsibilities yet. You were still, almost an adult, but you were not plagued by the adult responsibilities for most people. Okay, for some people, yes, I realize with their complex family dynamics, they may have been. But, there are various different situations for that. But for the most part, just that feeling of lighter than air. Like you can go to work and you can spend your money on whatever you want to because your parents are paying the bills. You know what I mean? And then you get to be an adult and, you're carrying around all this responsibility and all these burdens, and the future doesn't start to look as bright. It starts to look more bleak, right? And not bleak in the sense of, everything is doom and gloom, more just in the sense of, this is just what I have to do. This is it. Day in and day out. Get up, go to work, take the kids to school, pick them up, dinner, bedtime, get up, go, and it really can get to a point where things start to feel, well, boring, right? But because you have this gorgeous energy right here with the Page of Cups, I actually feel a little bit like you are starting to feel more of that energy. This 10 of Wands, like you're feeling just more of that energy of just being lighter on your feet, like a younger version of yourself. You're feeling very much shed of too much, like just so much responsibility. And it could be for some of you guys because we're coming up on summer break and you're like, yes, I don't have to, that's like one less thing I have to do in the morning, and that kind of thing. And so that could make you feel a little bit more free. But I had just looked over here at this eccentric energy, and remember I was telling you that I was like picking up on this like rebellious type of energy, more of just like, marching to the beat of your own drum kind of thing. And I just keep looking over at this 6 of Wands, and is this person just like, I don't know, like kind of dancing around in the field, just again, very, very liberated energy, because it comes after the 5 of Wands, and the 5 of Wands can be the struggle, but the 6 of Wands is the liberation from the struggle. It's a successful outcome, but it's also sometimes the success is just being over the struggle. It doesn't even always mean that there's some sort of award or accolade or recognition. Sometimes it really is just as simple as the struggle is over. You know, you're on the other side of it. You made it. Pat yourself on the back. You did it. Like, go team. But anyway, so I feel a little bit like you've reached you've gone past the struggle, okay, or the challenging time, the burden in your life. You're starting to feel more fancy free. That keeps coming to me, more eccentric, and maybe even a tinge rebellious, because you're ready. You're marching to the beat of your own drum because you have the energy to do so now, and maybe even the freedom, to be quite honest with you. Okay, and I feel like this restores your hope. Okay, like the future doesn't look so bleak. It's not humdrum. It's not like day in and day out I do the same old thing, and is this all there is? It's the liberation of that. Okay, and that's what you've been experiencing. And so then we come over here and we have the Emperor with the Wheel of Fortune and the Sun card. And you notice that this Wheel of Fortune is called Chance. And remember, we've also been doing quite a few readings on leaving things up to chance, like putting yourself out there, trying this thing, taking this risk, okay? Being the most authentic version of yourself and seeing what happens, And so I feel a little bit like some of you guys actually have done that. Like you actually tried it is what I'm getting. Like I'm really feeling like you actually decided to do that, okay? And because I'm looking over here at this gorgeous tiger and all these butterflies, and for me, I'm just getting a lot of power and obviously transformative energy, okay? It's rising above. It's, being free. You're being free, but you also have all this strength and endurance, okay, and power. And then the Ankh symbol to me is also, I feel a little bit, because, the Emperor's a boss, right? And so for you, I feel like it could even feel like you have, or for you, I feel like you're starting to feel that you have even more control or dominion over your life. Like you are not feeling so much as at the mercy of the things around you. Okay, but you're starting to feel a more powerful presence in which you have a little more say in how things are going to be going for yourself. Okay. And you just seem to have a little more order and a little more structure, I feel even. And honestly, I'm kind of getting a little bit of this energy of, having a stern conversation with yourself even, which I know is silly, but I mean, sometimes you have to do that. Like you have to reparent yourself, and you have to, because I know I've done it, where you have to, say to yourself, cut the BS. All right, I'm tired of it, okay? This is what is going to happen. This is the step that I'm going to take. This is what I'm going to try, and that's that, like just get out of the head, stop overthinking, stop worrying about things, and try something. It's 11:11 on the clock, by the way. And so I feel like, some of you guys have had that talk to yourself, like, to tell yourself no more BS, no more excuses, no more what ifs, no more worries, no more, sitting there and just being overly concerned about what could possibly happen, and just deciding that you're going to try something and you're going to leave it up to chance and you're going to see what happens. And this helps you be in more control over your life, more, I feel like even more control over yourself, more control over the perception you have of yourself, because then you have the Sun card, happiest card on the deck, right? And I feel like, to me, with this combination of the Star and the Sun card, I feel like there's a lot of this energy of choosing to be happy. Like just really choosing, like I like waking up and making a conscious decision to have a good day. Waking up and having a conscious decision, making a conscious decision to believe that things are going to work out for you, and being in that higher vibrational frequency. And with that Wheel of Fortune card, it says chance, right? And like I said, and I've said numerous times before in previous readings, like if it's meant to be yours, it's going to be yours. If it's not, it's not. I mean, the Wheel of Fortune holds a lot of destiny in it, and the change of seasons can often mean that you're destined for something else. Okay. And sometimes you're destined to go back to something, like, but to me, the Wheel of Fortune speaks a lot about non-attachment and being like, just being in the flow with the nature and the universe. Seasons change. Can you imagine if the earth was super attached to it always being spring all the time? We wouldn't have fall. I mean, I know that's silly, but can you imagine? Like, we wouldn't have seasons. And things would just always be the same. Don't you think that you would get sick of it? I'd probably get a little sick of it. Like, spring, there's a lot of rain, a lot of pollen, and I look forward to summer. But then summer starts to get really hot, where I live anyway. I live in the South, and so it's, it's hot here. And then winter, I'm not really a huge fan of winter, to be honest with you, but I love fall. I skipped fall, I absolutely love fall. And sometimes, you just, the cool breeze and the beautiful colors of the leaves and everything. Like, can you imagine not having that if the earth decided to just stay super attached to only one season? Yeah, you have to apply that to your life, like, what would you miss out on? And wouldn't you be utterly bored if everything always stayed the same? And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about with the Wheel of Fortune, for me, having a lot of flow in it, or speaks a lot about flow and just allowing the changes of life to commence, and really recognizing that they're destiny. And I feel like, honestly, for you, Taurus, part of your destiny was to find this power and assertion and this willpower to rise. Oh, I need water. I'm so sorry. Hold on. So I think for you, Taurus, like, spirit has been guiding you to stepping into this power and this assertion, and to be able to be more light and fancy free as well. And I realize that those are two very opposing energies, but I feel like having that combination of being able to decide what you want for yourself, King of Swords, having a little more power or control over or of what, actions you're taking in your life, but also just leaving things up to chance. It's a delicate balance. It's a delicate balance. It really is. So anyway, in your near future, you have the Two of Cups, the Empress, and the Five of Wands. Now I want to get a little bit more of the Five of Wands. Tell me a little bit more about this Five of Wands, please. Freedom. Okay, freedom from the Five of Wands. That's what's happening. Because you know how, like, the saying, don't be someone's collateral damage in their war with themselves? Yeah, I gotta be really honest with you, Taurus. Like, I feel like for a couple of months there, I started to feel like you were the collateral damage in your own war with yourself. And I don't even know how that makes sense, but it makes sense to me. Because I feel like your war with yourself affected you on such a deep level that it really pushed you to change. You know that saying, and I'm probably going to botch this a little bit, but like when the pain of changing becomes, or when the pain of staying the same becomes greater than the pain of changing or something like that, then you'll change. I don't know I know I've botched it, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it kind of, for you, Taurus, it got to a point where you were like, if I continue here with this battle with myself, I am just going to be utterly miserable. It's going to take me out. Like, I'm just going to throw in the towel. I'm going to be done, And I think that the beat down, okay, the energetic, the proverbial beatdown that you were experiencing may have finally pushed you towards, like, I feel like it's finally pushed you into saying, that's it. I'm going to step up. I'm going to assert some willpower, and I'm going to start making some changes for myself. I'm going to stop being attached to whatever it is I was holding attachment to. Like I said, it could be a lot of things. It could be an attachment to a narrative. It could be attachment to a perception of yourself. It could be attachment to a relationship, to a home, to a job, to a belief system, like, etc., etc., etc. Okay, like it goes on and on and on. But there was some kind of attachment to something that was like seriously holding you back, Taurus. Like it really was. And because of that, you were becoming collateral damage in your own war with yourself. Like it was affecting you severely. I mean, I wouldn't even be the least bit surprised if numerous of you, or many of you, have like bruises all over your energetic field, you know, if that even makes sense, because that's kind of what that's what I'm picturing. Like it's just, it was rough. It was a really challenging time, like where I felt, and I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about the number 5, and I was thinking about like numerology. And I, you know, before looking it up, I just decided to like intuitively check into how I felt that number, or what I felt that number meant. Okay. And I was thinking about like the 5 of Swords, the 5 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, the 5 of Cups. And for me, those cards all offer opportunity. They all offer a shift in perspective. They all offer like a point of growth, like an opportunity for growth. Like if you're going to stay in the struggle, if you're going to stay at odds with yourself, if you're going to self-sabotage, if you are going to stay in the feelings of not feeling good enough, or if you're going to stay in the feeling of feeling left out in the cold, or if you're going to stay in the feeling of regret and shame and grief and all of these things. And then I thought about the Hierophant, which is the number 5, you know, and is obviously very spiritual, but it also has a lot of tradition attached to it, right? And so that can be where a lot of people like get their perceptions and their expectations of themselves, because traditionally it is this way, right? And I was thinking a lot about how the number 5 really calls people to address these internal, external, you know, mental, emotional, spiritual struggles within, and it calls you to grow. And I'm not saying that it's comfortable. By any stretch. I'm definitely not saying that it's comfortable, but it's vital. It is so crucial to the growth of your spirit. Okay? And I feel like you have been experiencing this, like telling you on a soul level, and you are finally free. Okay? In the near future, you're finally free. And I feel like you're going to start seeing a lot more abundance happening in your life. You're going to see the conception of new things that you had been for so often wanting to work through, or not work through, but yeah, I guess work through, or to achieve, or to kickstart, etc., etc. Like you're gonna startly, oh my gosh, startly, you're finally gonna start. Oh my gosh, I feel like you're finally going to start being in that energetic flow of abundance. I'm just gonna leave it at that, because I totally lost my train of thought when I started giggling at myself. 2 of Cups here. So I feel like 2 of Cups can be a new relationship, or it can be better relationships. You do have the Emperor, and you have the Empress and the Emperor over here. So this can definitely be stronger relationships that you're going to be experiencing. With the Freedom/Chariot card, maybe some of you guys are going to go, you know, travel. You can even be getting married. I often see like the Chariot card as like a horse and buggy, and if I see the Empress and the Emperor, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe some of you guys are gonna go get married. Okay, but it can definitely also have to do with like decisions around moving, around traveling, around just literally just being set free and being, you know, on your divine mission for yourself. Okay. To me, there's always a calling with the Chariot card. There is a calling. Like, you don't just want to do something. It's not just a decision that you're making for yourself. It's not just an action step you're taking. It is a calling. Like, it is an absolute calling, okay? And so I feel like this ending that you've been experiencing had a lot to do with the perception of yourself, but I also feel like it's endings of things that it was time to move past, okay? So with this card right here, you are being guided to listen. You're guided to pay attention to the signs and the synchronicities around you. For me, it was reflecting on the number 5, okay? That was an example. But, you know, paying attention to billboards and to songs and just messages, like things that people say, and really like take it in, because those are signs from your spirit guides, okay? You are moving towards much more stability and growth. Like I said, abundance, okay? More success. You're going to feel more proud of yourself, because I feel like you found acceptance with the way that things were, okay? And you stop trying to fit yourself into a certain idea of what you thought it was supposed to be, or what you thought you were supposed to be, or what your life was supposed to be, and you decided to just be you. And in that process of deciding to just be you, you found your power source, okay? And you stopped being collateral damage, okay? Now, again, with this card right here, for a lot of you, I really do feel like these characteristics, these beliefs around yourself, these expectations that you have of yourself, or standards, did come from a masculine figure in your family. So it could be a father, a grandfather, uncle, family friend, etc., a teacher, somebody very important, I feel like. But that really, I feel like, could have impacted this for you. But I feel like you're going to have a lot more control over the decisions of your future. And see, that's the thing. I'm not saying, because obviously the universe has a lot more control than we do, but we co-create. We really do. We co-create, right? And so I feel like you're going to have more control over your portion of things. You're not going to be able to control everything. You know, some things really just are up to chance. But what you can control are your thoughts and your actions. You know, the way that you perceive things, you can control those things. You know, you can catch yourself. You can be more self-aware, and you're going to have that opportunity to do that. So, and look, I really truly feel like I've been seeing this over and over and over and over again. Like, I really truly feel that this massive change within you is bringing incredible rewards. I just can't say it enough. Like, I just can't say it enough. So that is what I have for you. And this ended up being a little bit longer than I was expecting. But anyway, I talk. Like, when I start to channel, I just talk. It is just what I do. For some reason, I just keep looking over at these. So I feel like I was supposed to grab one. Intuition. Time to trust your intuition. Yeah, simplify things. You know how, like, we overcomplicate stuff? Like, we overthink things. We just overcomplicate it. Yeah, I feel like it's time to simplify it. And for me, that's getting down to the facts of it, to the pros and cons and the facts, okay? Really simplifying it, and simplifying things in terms of, you know, what steps can I take? And not overdoing it. You know how, like when you really want to do something in your life, or you really want to achieve something in your life, you know, you start to think, oh, I've got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this, and I got to do it all right now, right? Instead of one step at a time, you know, just focus on this step, right? That's all I need to do right now. But you have birthing right here. So you are kickstarting something new in your life. Regardless, I've been seeing this over and over and over and over and over again for Taurus. Like, there is seriously no better time than now. Anyway, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.